Thanks for staying with us. Moving on to other segments. So as the year is running to an end, so many of us are thinking of how to have a better finance in the coming year. On the show today, we have a strategic finance expert and founder, Africa Finance Strategic Hub, Oluwatoyin Aralepo, to enlighten us on how we can attract billion investments into our business in the coming year. Welcome to the show. Hello, madam, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much.
Good to have you.
Everyone.
We really wanted to have you on Zoom, but I think we're having some connection issues, so it's good to have you on the phone either way. So the year is coming to an end, and many of us are planning, we're wrapping up for this year, and we're hoping to have some financial backing coming the next year. We're hoping to get some exposures into opportunities internationally to grow our businesses either within the Naira or the dollar. So what tips can you share with us to position our businesses to attract billions in the coming year?
Thank you so much, Moyo. I'm so glad to be here this morning, to be calling in.
Yes.
Well, before we start, I would like to lay the foundation, because when it comes to issues about finances, if the foundation is not good, if the foundation is not strong, there's always a problem.
Right.
So the first thing is to start with what happened in 2021. You need to review your business, you need to review where you are in 2021 and start planning for 2022 and to put in place the right structures. Now, in terms of looking at what happened in 2021, did you set goals? Did you set financial goals for the year? In terms of your business, what were the things you set out to do? Your customers, your revenue, your expenses, and the bottom line, which is the profit. So what were the goals you set out to do? Because if you don't get this right and put in place the right structures, then going into 2022 will be like, just driving without knowing the direction. So it is good to evaluate what happened in 2021 so that it can lay the foundation for 2022. And another thing I want to highlight is that as a business owner, even as individuals, we need to set out goals, because there is no way we can attract opportunities if we don't position ourselves. And as a business owner, how do you position yourself? You need to look at your business model. You need to have a valid and viable business proposition. And so many people talk about business model. What it means is just, how are you going to generate money? How are you going to make money in your business? And you can't make money in your business if there's no problem that you are solving. A problem you are solving that customers are willing to pay for. That is the starting point. Because if you don't have a viable business proposition, there's no way you can attract investors. The second thing you need to look at is, do you know your numbers? Understanding your business model. Do you know your numbers? Do you have the financial and operating metrics? That is, do you understand what is driving your business? Do you understand who your customers are? Do you know how they are going to reach out to you? Do you know how you are going to reach out to them as well? Have you evaluated what resources that you require to achieve the business goals? What do you need? What are the resources, both financial and also in terms of network? Who are the partners that are going to support you? Because if you don't have all this in place, there is no way you can attract investors.
All right. So, but because of time, let's assume a business has all these you've identified. We have a proper structure. You have the financial numbers. You have a problem you're solving. A business owner will say, where do I find these investors? Do I go online? Do I go to LinkedIn? How do I know where they are? What do I do to find them?
Okay, so there are so many opportunities. Now, let me talk briefly about the stage of your business, because that will also determine the type of funding that you require, right? Are you just starting out your business? In which case, you are still trying to understand at the ideation stage, right? because the type of investment you will require for such will be different from a situation where you started and you are scaling. You already have customers and you are generating revenue, right? And whether you have also, your business is also established, the type of investment you require and where to get the investment will be different. For instance, if you're just starting out, right, you can have access to grants, right, because you're still starting your ideas. You can look for angel investors. We have some of them in Nigeria as well. You can look at your family and friends. However, if your business has started picking up, there are other opportunities like programs like incubators and accelerators. Yes. Now, one of such is the Y Combinator. This is where Paystack, we've all heard about Paystack. They actually started with this, right? A situation where, they started with accelerator program where their ideas were reviewed with them, and they were, they got some guidance that helped them, before they were able to scale to the extent where they were able to sell the business at over $200 million, right? So you need to understand the stage of your business and what is required at every stage, right? Because when you understand that, then you know where to look for the funds. Yeah. Whether you need to go through.
Let me throw a few more questions in for you.
All right, Ma, let's stay on new startups for a bit. How do you advise that a new startup minimizes costs, overhead costs, because of these are inflation rate and the rate of the dollar? What are some of the steps that they can take so that they're not spending so much and would be able to at least mop up a little profit?
Okay. So what I will advise for startups is that, they need to look at the cost structure. What I mean is, by the time you understand the product you want to sell, for instance, right, at the start of the business, it is not advisable that, you go and maybe rent an office in Victoria Island, for instance, when you don't even have customers, you're still trying to gain customers, right? You need to start small and scale very fast. Look at your cost structure. How many staff do you need at the start? Do you need to hire an accountant at the beginning, or you can outsource some of the things or the processes that you have to do, right? Look at the staffing. Do you need so many staff at the beginning? Look at where the location of the office, your rent, the location you are presently. Can you afford it at the start, right? The resources and the raw materials that you require, you also need to look at that as well. Is it possible for you to get other raw materials locally, right? Can you look at that? What are the other sources, in which you can reduce the cost of operation? So these are some of the ways that, businesses that are just starting, right, can look into, especially the cost structure. Because if you're just starting, you need to start small. You don't have to accumulate so much cost. Right. Because at the start of your business, right, if your cost structure is so high, it takes a longer time for you to recoup. Right. And also, before you're able to make profit. Right. So you need to start lean. Look at the resources that you require and ensure that, you are not, there is this saying that you don't want to live above your means.
Exactly.
It also applies
All right, let me get a few more questions in for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mariam.
Ma'am, let's go back to attracting billion-dollar investment. I just love the sound of that. And recently, I've been hearing a lot about what you just mentioned, the incubator, accelerator, and I know a lot of Nigerian businesses for whom these terms are quite foreign, and they're wondering, yes, I would like to scale up my business from this naira-making small-time business to a billion-dollar attracting business. What are the things? How do I find these incubators, these accelerators that we're talking about? How do I find this group of people? How should I position myself to be attractive to even these, interventions so that I can have an access to investors who are willing to put monies, $1 billion in a business like mine?
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. There's something called social capital, right? In doing business, right, you have the financial capital, you have the social capital, and you have the time capital. Now, when it comes to the social capital, that is where networking is important, right? Now, you need to look for institutions that give opportunities. I mentioned about the Y Combinator at the start of the discussion. There is also the Founders Institute in Nigeria, right, that supports that supports businesses. You have the Oluwatoyin Foundation, right? You have Leap Africa, where you can even start small, depending on the type of business that you're doing. Now, when you look for this network, right, there are some of them that you can find through LinkedIn. There is also the Pekedia Capital, where they're also looking at businesses where they can invest in. So you need to join network of institutions that will open you up to these opportunities, right? You can't stay at home in the confines of your home and think that opportunities will come. So you need to look for networks that will position you, right? Like I mentioned, there's Y Combinator. You can search them on the internet, apply, and they start guiding you. There's Tony Elumelu Foundation, where you can get seed capital, and there are other ones like Leap Africa as well, that you can start with, right? And as you start, you get introduced to the bigger institutions, right, that can support your business and get you the funding that is required.
Let me throw in one more question. Go ahead,
A Busy Large says on YouTube, why do Nigerians like putting the challenges costs that they have in their businesses that they open because they said they can handle the business on end consumers and customers? It's like a carpenter saying, "Oh God, we go need ladder, na extra money," all that kind of talk. And then people will rush and open business in expensive office, put the cost of affordable service on their customers because they want to pay expensive rents and live large.
Yeah.
Did you hear me, ma'am?
So I think that the first part, the line.
Okay, so our viewer is asking that why do Nigerians like putting cost of business that they could avoid, and that makes business expensive, such as an expensive office, a very good location, and all of those costs that they cannot immediately bear.
No, but let me extract a question from that observation from our viewer. So if I'm a business owner and I have a high-end product trying to attract a high-end customer base, and I think by having my office in the Victoria Island or Lekki will attract the kind of customers I'm looking for. Yes, my cost structure will be high, obviously, but I expect that the product I'm selling is high-end and the customers I'm looking for. So how do I, therefore, find a way to get the kind of customers I'm looking for, but also minimize my cost?
And so that it's affordable to some other customers, too.
Okay, well, when it comes to business management and running, right, you need to look at the niche, the type of customers, and the type of product, right, and the location. These are some of the factors that will determine how much you are going to charge, because you are in business primarily to make money, right? Now, understand the customers you're providing services to, right? For instance, if I use a very simple example, if you go to a mall to buy fabric, right, that's a very simple example, the cost of that fabric will be different, right? You're obviously higher than when you go to Balogo Market or you go to Jumota. Now, because the location in a mall, they have to pay service charge, they have to pay, service charge, they have to pay for the agent, right? or the customer service person, you know, that is attending to the customer. So there's a premium. Now, if you want to do that, you need to look at the location. For instance, that you have to site your business before doing that. You can't go and do that in another location. Let me give an example. You set up that kind of shop, right, with AC, with all the things in a motion, for instance. I mean, I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Without considering the niche, without considering the need of the people, right, the demographics of people that you have over there. So these are some of the things that you have to consider. Now, when you understand the customers you're serving and their requirements, then you have to tailor your service. And those people are ready. For instance, you go to a mall, you know you are going to pay premium for that extra service that you're enjoying. So you, as a business owner, you need to understand the need of your customers, where they are, who you want to serve, right? You can't provide a premium service to a low-end customer base. It won't work. And let me use another example. I mean, I've worked in telecoms, right?
Yes.
Let me give that final example. Right. You know, you have different customer base. You have the one that pay as you go. You have the VIP customers. You have VVIP customers that on their birthdays, right, you take gifts to them. You give them special treatment. Those are the ones that are spending maybe 1 million, 2 million on a monthly basis. You can't offer the same service to another customer that we just go and buy 500 naira recharge card. So you need to understand the need of your customer so that you can tailor your service, right? When you understand that, then you'll be able to manage your costs according to the needs of your customers.
Right.
And bottom line is that you have to recover your costs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwatoyin Aralepo. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your thoughts on this. And it was interesting to learn that the truth is that reduce your cost, position yourself. These people, they're organizations that are willing to offer you money, startup money, and then to support your business. You just have to ensure that your numbers are right, your business structure is right, and ensure that you have, you're able to demonstrate the profitability of the business. Therefore, you attract these big spenders. So thank you very much. We just hope our business owners have taken a lesson from this and would improve their business come 2022.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.